So yeah, my name is Alexandra Romantsova. It's short version, it's Slavic tradition, it's Sasha. So don't be surprised, that's normal. And I want to speak today with our proposition, which exactly not a global like act. It's don't propose they change the some global documents or something like this. It's quite small acts, and main idea of these acts it's create a regular conversation which give us opportunity ruin the myth about each other. Why it's important? From one side, we have a region which traditionally call post-Soviet. We traditionally call it traumatized by Soviet Union. And most people think about Soviet Union like one big country. But de facto, in Constitution of Soviet Union, that's region which we call now Eastern Europe and Central Asia, that was 15 different countries. But even human rights defenders, which we work quite close, regularly think in the one big myth that Soviet Union, it's only Russia. And that's maybe can be a not so bad idea if Russia will be not so aggressive. Now, I mean about state, it's not mean any person from like related by Russia, but like a state, it's quite aggressive at not once, and not only about neighbors. But FIDH have exactly amazing studying in 2017 about gray zone which Russia create around herself. And mostly that's about so-called younger brothers, which Soviet Union mythology create and put at the massive information propaganda waves. That's why sometimes when you speak with people from other regions, you find some tracks from Soviet Union propaganda which absolutely make any relationship between other countries from Africa, Asia, Latin America, and connect it only with legacy of Russia relationship. And we figure out that people from South Africa think that Russia helped them. One of way how they help them is make a special training camp at Odessa. And in this way, like, okay, Odessa, it's Ukraine. But it's not exist at many understanding. And when we speak about solidarity, sometimes we, go into the deep water of ruin Soviet propaganda. So, and same way, really important to have this problem like Soviet propaganda never solve any problems. In one moment, they make a lot of great, bright placards. In same way, Soviet Union denial text of General Declaration of Human Rights. Absolutely. I mean, you go into the jail if you're trying to spread it after 1948. So, and many of countries still keep it like result of propaganda effects without understanding that human rights from this region work in little bit different environments. And same, we don't have full understanding how in that moment build the movement of human rights outside of Soviet Union because of like Iron Wall or other way, like because we was separated from this information. So it's not only propaganda by Soviet Union for our outcome countries, African, Latin American, Asian, but same inside the Soviet Union, we live at some propaganda area about what happened outside. Who little bit maybe older than me, remember that Freedom Angela Davis slogan. For your understanding, it's a person from here, from Latin America, which was huge popular in Soviet Union. And most of people can understood why. Because of Russia propaganda provided this slogan and explained that we need to support it and all of this. So now we have this problem till now. And understanding, for example, that Russia, which spent a lot of money, and inside the Soviet Union push to different revolution, pro-communistic, or sometimes it's even not pro-communistic. They start to be a communistic only when Soviet Union start to be touch with them. But in the same time, inside the Soviet Union, any person who trying to care about human rights by themselves, mostly going there. It's Gulag. And that's exploitation labor camp, which exactly builds the Soviet Union economical system, which give the benefits, and these benefits spend it to pay for some revolution outside. So, and this understanding, when we speak about human rights movement inside our region, we coming from this. We're fighting against exploitation and kind of slavery, which exactly Soviet Union put their own population. And it's sometimes we have this disconnection with us understanding slavery, for example, or colonialistic some approach. Because it's strange, look at that and understood that this country is colony and now have a really strong anti-colonial colonial movement. This country, my Ukraine, have anti-colonial movement and human rights anti-colonial. We are not out of, separated by the ocean between Russia and Ukraine, Russia and Kazakhstan, Russia and Armenia, but we were a colony, and we were a colony. So that's why main idea of my proposition that's recognize that we have this affected by propaganda of Soviet time. They was really strong, they was really, really effective. But after that, figure out what we're doing now. What kind of human rights methods, what kind of human rights task we solve in our region. That's me, working at the documenting of war crimes at the Kiev region after 2022. That's me at the Donbass in 2016. That's our kind of solidarity inside our region. That's Azerbaijan political prisoners. And that's quite strong tradition in our region. And not only in our region, Berit is here. She's exactly representative, amazing Helsinki movement. And Helsinki movement, which exactly create OSCE. And all of this solidarity tradition quite forcible, quite strong in our joint human rights method. But when we receive a Nobel Peace Prize, we start to be at the list of invitation other region. And that's just the two examples. It's Alexander and the Brazil in J20, and me at the South Africa. It's Forbes Africa decided that it's a good picture near the house of Mandela. So they decided that that's a good story. Okay, they like it. And we figure out that's exactly our inside human rights tradition and African country, Latin American country, Asian country, in different sub-region, they can help each other. I mean, in South Africa, for example, we found really good support in our work of, that's kidnapping of Ukrainian children, providing by Russia. It's a huge question, but nobody have answer. But we need appeal to international system of children protection. And we found an amazing partner at South African Center for Children's Rights, because they have more experience how to work with UN system around the children protection. And we figure out that we finally have a same goals, same aims. Exactly, that's quite a weak system. We need together work for that. not only for Ukrainian children, or not only for South African children, but for all other standards around the protection children. So this map, which Ukraine never take at the head before 2022, that's wars around the globe in 20 centuries. That's, sorry, it's named in Cyrillic. I usually show it at my lecture and ask my students which biggest war after Second World War happened. And nobody can find that the Second Congolese War, 6 million people was killed. And inside our region, most of people, only small group of people really understood this context and the problem which it's providing for human rights defenders from Congo or some countries around this. And so, main idea that recognized our legacy of Soviet mythology from both sides, recognized that we have lack of information inside our region, but we have a high interest now. And we wanna do this. We wanna that imagination who is human rights defenders, that was pictured like this, and not just the people whom you can collect in the Zoom inside your region. So for that, we propose next steps. The Center for Civil Liberties had such experience. We make solidarity talks inside our region. We, because a lot of Russian organization and a lot of Ukrainian organization prohibited by Russia General Prosecutor Office, we do that underground. But we wanna meet openly online meetings, which we collect the auditory, and this auditory will be human rights defenders, different activists from all our region, journalists, students, academics. That's where we have high-level interest. We wanna invite for discussion of topic of current situation of human rights and context. It's really important to ruin this Soviet Union tracks of mythology and propaganda, and context to understood other countries which traditionally not in our region, which we lost from our region and our understanding. And for what? Exactly, main idea, find the points to support for each other. And maybe it will be small points. For example, from beginning of our Nobel Prize position, we started to receive some unusual for us direction letters for support from Syria, from Thailand, from Taiwan, from someone that was strange, that labor union from Scotland, which exactly trying to take us support for their strike at the military object, which given support by missiles for Ukraine, and so they asked to support their strike in that moment. So we use these missiles to defend ourselves, and they try not give us. So guys, I think it's wrong direction. So in different way, but this discussion, representation, for example, situation at Kenya for now, not for 70s, 80s from Soviet Union vision, but now what happened in Kenya, now what happened in Zimbabwe, now what happened for example, in Quebec. That was really interesting for me. So because we're little bit stuck in this old vision. So, and find this maybe small at first steps, how we can support each other. This conversation can be 2 hours per month. We can choose concrete country. Now we speak with Colombian colleagues, it will be first. So, and we will start it from next year. So my proposition exactly, and ask you, just to say, yes, I'm open to be a speaker. It will be in English, sorry. That's language which internationally used in Ukraine and our region. And exactly we provide from our side audience, technical support, moderation, and from you, just the speakers who openly prepared to speak about human rights situation at the country and about context, why we are in this point. And sure discuss what kind of topic can be common in such cross-regional support each other. So it's not a huge idea, but we see that a lot of such ideas bring us at really great and unusual for our enemies cooperation. I mean, our enemies mostly is dictators. They cooperate, so let's we are. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you,
please,
Sasha.
you can take my context here.
Thank you very much, Sasha. Comments, questions? This is a very interesting initiative. Welcome to FIDH, because this is the space for these conversations, and I'm glad that we can offer these, and I hope that we can also contribute to making this a success the way you want it to be. Please.
Yes, Sasha, I think it is a great idea, of course. And I think a lot of countries can recognize this myth that we have the misconceptions about each other. So I think we should consider your region as a pilot, and then other countries and regions maybe could do the same. And I think FIDH and the partners of FIDH would be a great platform for it. I'm a volunteer as a speaker. I can, for instance, suggest that we can speak about our problems with the indigenous people and environmental conflict, which is really, really huge. But nobody knows about it outside Norway.
Yeah, most of people look at you like elves. You are perfect. But we need this understanding. Yeah, please.
Great, thank you for that. Is it on? Yeah. Yes. Thank you for that. Very happy to volunteer. I'm from India, but also work around the South Asia region, so very happy to talk about those.
Oh, I have so many questions for you.
But before you ask those questions, I wanted to request you to go back to the map, and you had lots of so if there is time, if you just wanted to, if you could translate a bit about India, but also the rest. But I also have a question, a more general question for you.
Please, yes.
Which is really, so what are the challenges you face in building solidarity around your issue, around the Ukrainian issue, globally? Because all of us here face similar issues, right? And I think, so maybe your lessons, your understanding of the challenge, how do you make, how can I see my struggle in your struggle? Just wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
If I may, why this project so important for Ukraine? Because we sure have a problem, but we never won a competition of problems in the world. So that's why I'm showing my students this map to explain that Ukraine not put attention a lot around the world. We joke about that Ukraine have a globe of Ukraine, So, and that's why invasion of Russia Federation 2022, not even started a war in 2014, but 2022, open our eyes that we exactly not pay attention to other conflicts, to other problems. And when we coming and say, guys, we have a problem, they absolutely, as for me, have really good, strong arguments, answered, okay, but you're not supported in any other petition, for example, at UN during the last 30 years. So we try and be exactly reflexive in this way. We trying to understand that, okay, we don't like architecture of Security Council of UN, but not we are first. India not represent there, but it's like billion of people. Africa not represent there. We now speak about like five countries without how they call. Yeah, this. So it's a big question do we want that India, like right now, with this government, need to have a voice there, or it's really one plus, people who will stop any kind of supporting of the country which going to the conflict or something like this. So for understanding this, I need to have a partner. I need to have someone who explain me what happened in Kashmir. One of the moments that was surprise for me, it's India annexation of Hyderabad. I was there in Hyderabad, amazing place, really exotic for me, but it's a huge numbers of people with mixed Hindu and Muslim. And so is it right, annexia? For me, after annexia of Crimea, is it right reward? It seriously happened like this or not? So I need to have a partner with whom we can speak about from the same level of framework of human rights. You can say me, yes, that was annexia because and exist people who in India not recognize it like annexia because And for me, it's not give me a right answer. It's give me a perspective. It's give me understanding that maybe together we need to work more about definition of annexia of international documents. So this way. And if you speak about why it's important for Ukraine, because Ukraine not trying just to solve our problem. We figure out that our problem, it's a result that we are not react of previous level. Because Russia commit war crimes at the whole territory of Africa. And for example, Oksana there, raise the hands. Truth Hounds today launched their studying about committing by Russian in Central Africa Republic committing war crimes. And because we are not react there, because the world not react in that moment, at war crimes in Syria, war crimes in Georgia, war crimes in other region, that's why we have it now at our home. So our egoistic aims in this, that we have truly cooperation which make our common security system basic of human rights. Because now we see that a lot of politicians trying to push out exactly this idea. And for that, we need to understanding, we need to have a cooperation, but truly cooperation, not habitual solidarity, but solidarity with proposition of common actions, because always exists a version. It's really good in discussion, find them.
Thanks a lot, and thank you, Alexandra, for your presentation. Of course, FIDH very much supports this initiative, and we would like to offer ourselves as a platform for holding these solidarity talks. I wanted to make one comment and perhaps a little reflection on gentleman's question also. Why we were so enthusiastic about this idea is because this war in Ukraine is a lot about narratives.
It's true.
And I don't know if you mentioned this, I was a little bit late, I'm sorry, to your presentation, but we find that the narrative that Russia is propagating about countering the threat of NATO expansion, and somehow Russia is fighting a war, an anti-imperialist war, even though it is completely the inverse of that, right? It's the Ukraine that's fighting an anti-colonial war. This rhetoric finds a lot of resonance, unfortunately, in Africa and South America. I mean, I'm making generalizations, perhaps in some countries less so than in others. But it was quite astounding, and I'm sure even more so to you when you come to some of these places and you'll be asked. You know, we have even an example from the last Congress in 2022. A representative of Kharkiv Human Rights Protection Group came and shared a room with another delegate who was like, oh yeah, but didn't Russia start this? I mean, wasn't Ukraine going to attack Russia and then Russia just started? This is within FIDH. And so there's a great need, even among the human rights community, to sort of enlighten ourselves. And I'm glad that Sasha is so self-critical that there's a need for Ukrainians and all of us to learn about the context that you're operating in, but it's also that other way around, and I think that's why it's so important. And one more comment just about the English language. I think that you might want to, or we might collectively think about having access to interpretation. And
we don't have money for that.
Well, we can we can try to work
in this way. Welcome. I want to have all of these nice people with us. Okay. And last my comments. Yeah, I will finish it. Last my comments. It's for us. It's a lot about human-to-human connection, because yes, Ukrainian now it's democracy at the war. And that means that we can fluent for our government. For example, our international strategy at Ministry of Foreign Affairs, something like this. And we told them, guys, seriously? You 30 years drink coffee every time when you have like some complicated question at UN. Why you think that other countries need to support our interest if we are not paying attention for them? So, and that's how it's working in Ukraine. Now it's quite direct. And that's our idea. And I have two department of Ministry of Foreign Affairs who are interesting to be a audience of this proposition, because they every time when I coming from somewhere, they take me like in the clash and say, so look, explain me why this topic they not accepted. Because seriously, we like you're trying to show the numbers of children who Russian like kidnapped. Okay, they lose such numbers of children per the week because they have a strong problem with human trafficking. So you need to understand, if you wanna have a conversation, you need to know with whom you converse and which condition this person or country or society or something like this. So for me, for example, with India, and it will be last, most of invitation to us, that channel which called Republic. Yeah, you're laughing. So you're laughing, but I have only one invitation from India. So I need partners, I need human rights defenders who will tell me, yes, these guys and this owner, he asked me to his most popular political debate show, which exactly not political, not debate, but okay. and I go in there because there's 50 million people from India who look at that. But I need to know all of the risk, and am I support them because Nobel laureate come to his show? Is it support human rights in India? I wanna be in this. I wanna be supporting of human rights in India. So let's work. Okay, thank you.